Well, hello there, Cryptowisers. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Milton. Great to have you here. Today we got to talk altcoins, altcoins. It's all about altcoins. What an amazing time to be in crypto. If you are new to crypto, welcome. You have come at an amazing, amazing time. If you've been in crypto for a while, congratulations. Okay, you have survived. You are a survivor, and now you get to reap the rewards, which is a bull run. We are still at the very beginnings of this bull run, so it is very important to create that ultimate strategy for yourself and stay focused. Keep researching those altcoins that can make those huge gains over the next year to 16 months. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the newest altcoin on my 2025 bull run portfolio. This is one I've been watching for a while. I've been doing my research. But also, and this is very important, one of you Cryptowisers mentioned it in a comment in one of my latest videos. So if you're someone who watches our videos but who has never commented, know that I read those comments, and that could tip the scale in terms of which altcoin I talk about next on the channel. Okay, guys, before I reveal that altcoin to you, we got to talk about the latest altcoin news out there. Happy Jito Day! That's right, Jito token has been airdropped. It is the newest sensation in the Solana ecosystem. This is a huge thing this cycle. Solana tokens. Last cycle, Solana went crazy. We know that. It was one of the major tokens in the last bull run, but it was really all about the Solana token itself and Solana NFTs. Sure, there were a few other tokens, the Radiums of the world, but already this cycle, we are seeing major tokens come out of the Solana ecosystem. First major airdrop there was Pith Network. I've talked about that on the channel already. And also in my video a few weeks ago, this one here, these Solana projects will make you rich. I talked a lot about the upcoming airdrops, one of which I talked about was Jito, and so it is here. So congratulations to anyone who got some airdropped Jito. If you qualified, good for you. This token is already at a fully diluted valuation of almost $2 billion, which puts it at 205th ranked token. Now that's been fluctuating. I've seen it in the top 200. Either way, at 200 right off the bat. That is amazing. Now we'll see where this token valuation lands. It's still finding its price point. Obviously, any token that's been airdropped like this, you're basically, a bunch of people are getting free tokens, and usually you see a sell-off, which is what we've been seeing with Jito. A lot of people just getting that free money, and we'll see. So it's going to have to find kind of a plateau level here in price. We'll see where that ends up, but very exciting to have this token out there. It's definitely on my watch list. Now, as you see, the total supply of Jito is going to be 1 billion. Right now, there's just over 115 million tokens. All of those essentially were airdropped. So I'm not going to be buying this right now, but it has to be on your watch list. This is essentially the Lido of Solana. It's already on Binance. It's already on Bybit and on KuCoin. So it's very liquid already. Trading volume is at around 280 million already. So this is a major coin that has just entered the market. Just to compare it here to a Lido, Lido's the 34 ranked token. Its total diluted valuation is at 2.5 billion. Almost 90% of its circulating supply is out there. But if you're looking at the Jito token, essentially this is the Ethereum equivalent, even though you can stake Sol on Lido and a lot of other chains. This would, to me, be the upper end of where the Jito token could end up going in terms of valuation. So it does still feel maybe like it's a bit too hot out of the gate here with its fully diluted valuation almost at 2 billion. But because the circulating supply is so low, the actual market cap right now is just over 200 million. It will definitely have way more scarcity in terms of tokens out there over the next year. So who knows? But unless Solana takes over Ethereum, which a lot of people think that might actually happen, the new flippening, as it were. A lot of people, usually in these cycles, we're talking about, will Ethereum flip Bitcoin? You hear more and more rumblings of, will Solana this time around flip Ethereum? If that happens, then Jito probably will overtake Lido. Okay, another piece of altcoin news I wanted to talk about is about one of my faves, Kilt Protocol. Kilt is a Polkadot altcoin. If you were, all the coins that are associated with DOT really are their own blockchain, but Kilt is a parachain on Polkadot, project I've talked about recently, but have talked about on this channel for years. One of my faves, and this was big news that came out. So if you watch this channel, you've probably heard me talk about their partnership with Deloitte. So Kilt has this major partnership with Deloitte, where Deloitte is creating a business, a business arm of their major company, where they can sell decentralized credentials to other companies, to individuals. And to do that, they're using the Kilt blockchain. I love this partnership because Deloitte does all the work. Yeah, they're going to make a ton of profit on it, but Kilt token holders should also see a lot of value for it. And the people who are working with Deloitte don't need to know anything about Kilt or blockchain or anything. And this is one of the examples that just came out. Deloitte taps Polkadot Ecosystem's Kilt blockchain for digital shipping logistics. Use cases, utility, real revenue. That is one of the major things I'm looking for in this bull cycle. Is there real world revenue attached to the token, to the project? This is one of the major things I am looking for. Now, the layer ones, they all have that based on gas fees. So it's all about usage. Then you have the DEXs. They charge fees, and so there's real revenue there. But what about the other altcoins? And so that's something I'm going to be talking a lot about on this channel. So shipping giant Hapag Lloyd will be the first to implement Deloitte's KYX, Know Your Client, Know Your Cargo system. A division of professional services firm Deloitte, one of the big four accounting firms, will use the Polkadot-based Kilt blockchain to offer logistics and supply chain services focused on the shipping industry. Ingo Rube, founder of the Kilt Protocol, told CoinDesk in a fireside chat at the India Blockchain Week conference that Deloitte is working with Nexiot, a supply chain technology company, to offer a new type of logistics service called KYX. KYX is a combination of Know Your Client and Know Your Cargo, two processes that identify and verify the client's identity and their shipped goods, respectively. This system is built on the Kilt network. Using decentralized and open source solutions built on Kilt, an entity could create a service built on a blockchain without having to deal with cryptocurrencies or needing blockchain experience. Hapag Lloyd is said to be equipping some 1.5 million containers with devices that can be tracked to show that they are secure and have not been opened. So supply chain, this is a use case we heard a lot about in the last bull cycle, but we didn't really have that many actual use cases yet. This is major. The fact that you have Deloitte, okay, one of the most respected companies in the world, they're the ones selling the service, but they're using Kilt. So Kilt's not out there. They don't have to deal with the shipping companies or whatnot. Deloitte is the one that comes in and says, we're selling you this service. Now we use the Kilt protocol. If you want to know about it, here's the team at Kilt. They'll explain it to you, but these companies don't need to know any of that. They don't need to buy crypto. They don't have to do anything. They just know that there's this amazing service out there that can digitize the Know Your Client, Know Your Cargo system. They pay Deloitte, and then Deloitte deals with the whole thing. I think this is huge. And yet, Kilt's only up 3.5%. Okay, it's hardly moved on the news. This is one use case out of what could be millions of use cases for the Kilt protocol being sold by Deloitte. So I think eventually this has to catch up and Kilt is going to reap the rewards. Because the other thing about it doesn't have to be a hype thing, because the Kilt protocol needs the Kilt token to work. And so Deloitte, just every time they do one of these partnerships, in the background, they're going to have to buy the Kilt token and use it for the blockchain. So ultimately, the demand for Kilt will go up, whether retail investors use it or not, because this whole thing is being used on Kilt. So that's the latest altcoin news that I wanted to get through. Two huge pieces of news in altcoins. But before I reveal to you the altcoin that I really wanted to talk about in this video, that is the next one I am adding to my 2025 bull run portfolio, do me a favor, smash the like button on this video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and turn those notifications on if you haven't already. That's very important because at Cryptowise, we just drop videos whenever we can. We don't have a specific schedule. So make sure you got that notifications button turned on. And of course, if you're on X, aka the artist formerly known as Twitter, make sure you're following us there at Cryptowise Guys. At Cryptowise Guys. Alrighty, drum roll please. It is time to announce the altcoin that is the latest altcoin in my portfolio. And that is Goldfinch, GFI. Goldfinch. This is the 350th ranked crypto out there. I love this one. It goes along with my theme of the day, which is real world revenue. Goldfinch falls into the RWA category, real world assets. RWA. That was all the rage a few months ago. It's kind of calmed down as GameFi has become front and center. Meme coins most recently have started to cook a bit, but do not forget about real world assets. More specifically, tokenized real world assets. So very quickly, what are RWAs? They are real world assets transformed into digital tokens and stored on a blockchain. These include real estate, art, commodities, and even intellectual property. This isn't a category I've talked a ton about on the channel recently, but make no mistake, this is definitely one you need to watch. Now, there's always going to be a bit of difference depending on the site, who you talk to, in terms of what crypto projects get to call themselves RWAs or not, what category are they in. And according to CoinGecko, in terms of the way they categorize it, their number one token for this category is Polymesh at 221. So Goldfinch falls at fifth, top 5 of these tokens at 350. The market cap right now is just under 100 million, but you have over half of the circulating supply is already out there, which means the fully diluted valuation is under $180 million, which to me feels still very cheap for this project. Okay, quick overview. What the heck is Goldfinch Finance? Well, essentially, they loan money to real businesses. They have figured out a decentralized way to loan out money to real businesses to be able to hand out loans to people who need those loans. So instead of going to a bank, they can get those loans through Goldfinch.finance. Now, what we were used to more in DeFi and in crypto, especially in the last bull run, one of the major breakthroughs was being able to borrow off of using your crypto as collateral. And the number one project for this is Aave, but there's a lot of lending protocols out there where you have to put over collateralized assets on chain, and based on the value of those assets, you can borrow some money back. But it always has to be over collateralized on these platforms. So let's say you have $1,000 worth of Ethereum, you put it on Aave as collateral, and you get to borrow back a percentage of that. I don't know the exact percentage, but for argument's sake, let's say you could borrow 500 from that. So you don't have to sell your Ethereum, you just put it on Aave and you can borrow $500 worth of USDC or whatever. But if you don't pay that 500 back, they've got that collateral there. They can just take it. And so they are always changing the ratio of what that over collateralization has to be so that they can liquidate you and get that money back so that you can't default on that loan. What is very different about Goldfinch is it's not over collateralized loans, and it's not a DeFi platform where someone just puts that collateral on chain, and then it gets liquefied if they don't pay back that loan. This is more like a real world loan where businesses get vetted, they need money, and they go to someone and they say, I need money. And then there are people within the Goldfinch ecosystem that vet it and either approve that loan or disapprove it. If it gets approved, then money from Goldfinch gets lent out, interest is paid, and you can participate in that as someone who provides that liquidity for these loans, and you get interest paid back for the liquidity that you would have offered. So that is essentially what Goldfinch does. They have just under 100 million active loans out there right now. The revenue in the last 30 days has been about 100 grand. Right now, the return you're getting is 7.6%. And here on their website, they have all the loans here. So they've got African Innovation, $10 million, 37-month loan. A lot of these are going for about 10 million-ish, being paid back over a 2-3 year time frame. So active loans about 100 million. Total loans that have been repaid already is over 32 million, and they have a 0% loss rate. They have not lost on any of their loans yet. They have 24 closed deals. So this was the last one that closed. SME loans in Southeast Asia. They were loaned about 1.3 million. The maturity date was in April of 2025, yet that is already fully repaid. So you can track all the loans that they have outstanding. And the way to participate is through this Goldfinch senior pool, which again, as I said, you're getting 7.41% back right now at the rate of today. Now, I don't want to go too into the weeds of this project. I'll talk a lot about it over the coming months on the channel. I'm just gonna give you the bullet points of why I really like it. One, real world assets, I think, is a huge utility for crypto, especially projects like Goldfinch that are trying to essentially take services from traditional finance, bring it to crypto, but do it in a regulated, transparent way. Basically, they're proving the concept. And I think if traditional finance ends up wanting to use decentralization and blockchain for these services, they're going to end up using something like Goldfinch. I think right now Goldfinch would be the number one choice for some of these major TradFi companies to use because the team is extremely credible. They've got great connections with Coinbase, which we know has great connections throughout TradFi. So as decentralized loans, blockchain loans becomes more accepted through the mainstream, I think Goldfinch is going to be at the forefront of that. The team behind it is top notch. Blake West is one of the co-founders. He's the CTO right now. He was formerly at Coinbase. So he used to be an engineer at Coinbase. He's got a ton of experience, a ton of connections within the space. Highly credible. And if we go on their website and just see who is backing Goldfinch, Andreessen Horowitz, Coinbase Ventures, really it's the who's who of angel investing in the space. To me, I really love what this project has done already in terms of proving the concept. This isn't a brand new company that's just starting. They've been working on this for years already. The token launched at the tail end of the last bull cycle, and they've been working and building throughout this whole crypto winter. Now, a couple of things to keep in mind on how this works. So they're not lending directly to these small businesses or to the people who are actually looking for the money. They are working with kind of a group of middlemen that they trust, that they know, that they have relationships with, and then those companies are the ones that actually give the money to the people and manage the loans for them. And there are multiple roles that can be played within Goldfinch to make this all work. So the Goldfinch protocol has 3 key roles: the investors, the borrowers, and the auditors. In addition, members are investors that have enhanced their participation to support the protocol's growth. So by owning the Goldfinch token, it basically works like a DAO. It's a governance token. You get to vote as an owner of GFI on the direction of Goldfinch. But these are all the different roles and how you can participate. So investors are participants who provide USDC to the protocol to be utilized by borrowers. There are two ways to become an investor on Goldfinch. One is as a backer, and the second is as a liquidity provider. So the backers optimize for yield. So they're the people who assess the individual borrower pools and decide whether to invest in them directly with first loss capital and earn the protocol's highest yields for doing so. So essentially, if you want to be the most involved, that would be as a backer, because there's work that you're doing that you earn more yield for. But the backers are the ones that everyone else is trusting that they're making the best decisions in terms of the loans and the amount of interest that those loans can generate. Or you can be a liquidity provider, which optimize for diversification and liquidity. They supply second loss capital to the senior pool, which automatically allocates its funds across all the borrower pools according to the assessment of the backers. You can be a member, which are the participants who supply capital and GFI to a Goldfinch membership vault to support the network's growth and security and receive member rewards for their enhanced participation. The borrowers, those are the people who are borrowing money from Goldfinch. And then there's the auditors, and they vote to approve the borrowers. So this is where the real world meets a decentralized protocol. So the auditors are actually the people who look over the loans before it goes to the backers to be voted on. And these are randomly selected by the protocol to provide a human level check guarding against fraud activity, and they earn rewards in exchange for conducting this work. So that's how it all works. They're slowly proving this out. Once they get the hang of it, once they've been able to prove it, then they're going to be able to grow and grow and grow. So far, the model has been working. As we said, they've already lent out over $100 million, and they have no defaulted loans as of yet. And remember what I said, they're trying to go legit. Okay, here's an article from September. A DeFi protocol wants to become an investment advisor. The more blockchain gets packaged up in Wall Street trimmings, the more folks may end up using the technology without even knowing it. Goldfinch, a decentralized finance protocol, is making an effort to register with the SEC as an investment advisor. So this was in September. And then more recently, this came out just a couple of days ago. Warbler Labs, which is the company behind Goldfinch, and they own about 5% of the Goldfinch tokens. They're basically the team behind Goldfinch, dog fooding its Goldfinch protocol with Heron Finance. So using blockchain and finance to establish more efficient markets is one of the technology's most logical applications. Whether you call it decentralized finance, open finance, or simply crypto, there are benefits to its enhanced transparency, automated accounting, and reduced counterparty risk. The trillion-dollar question is, where are the apps to onboard the masses? Heron Finance, a U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission registered investment advisor, is swooping in to provide investors with a robo-advisor for private credit markets via the Goldfinch protocol. So what they did was Wobbler Labs created Heron Finance. They registered as a financial advisor with the SEC, and they're using Goldfinch to facilitate their credit markets. Really interesting. These guys are really going for it. Basically, they've created this separate entity, which is a registered financial advisor, and they're using Goldfinch on the back end to be able to facilitate the credit markets. Really, really cool. And the credit market is a $1.4 trillion industry. $1.4 trillion industry. So the potential for this is huge. Another piece of news that came out that I really love is that they're expanding to Coinbase's base chain as a layer 2. So they're on Ethereum right now. They're also going to be incorporating the base chain from Coinbase. Again, to me, just solidifying that connection with Coinbase. The co-founder started at Coinbase. This is a logical step, but really cool to see how Base is going to be starting to be used. And I think the projects that use base chain that doesn't have a token or anything, I think that is the way to go if you're trying to really enter the traditional finance world. No one has better ties to traditional finance, has a better reputation for crypto within the traditional finance market than Coinbase. So I really think that Goldfinch is positioned perfectly as the legitimate play for this decentralized credit market. Okay, just to look over the tokenomics of GFI. The token's been out there for almost 2 years now. As I said, Warbler Labs has 4.4% of the token. That's basically the team tokens. There's 15% going to a treasury. A lot of the tokens just go to rewarding all of those participants, which I talked to you about. And 21% went to early supporters. 28% is going kind of to the ongoing operations of Goldfinch. And if you look at the kind of unlock, the vested schedule for the GFI token, as I mentioned, there's already half the circulating supply out there over the course of the next year, which is kind of the bull market that I'm looking at here. We're kind of looking at to kind of early to mid 25. Maybe it stretches into late 25. But yeah, you are looking at an increase of the circulating supply, but not by a huge amount. So nothing really scares me off there. So for me, this is one I really like, adding it to my portfolio. Obviously not financial advice. Like, I'm going to be covering a lot of alts on this channel. Do not just go out and buy any alt I talk about. Do your own research. This one I happen to like. This is what the channel's about. I'm going to tell you what I like, what I'm buying, what I'm selling. I'm going to be talking about a lot of altcoins that I don't own, just so that, I share that information with you. But at no time does it mean that I'm saying go out and buy this right away. Make sure you do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. For me, when I get a coin like this, add it to my portfolio, part of the reason I'm doing that for a platform like this is to use it, get to know it. I like to get my hands dirty with the projects that I own. If it's a network, say an Ethereum or Solana, a DOT, it's because I'm using that network. I'm using it. So same thing with the DeFi plays, and same thing with the RWAs. I'm going to be using Goldfinch, following along, being a participant in it, and that's why I felt comfortable investing in it. All right, guys, that's my latest altcoin play. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? I know one of you Cryptowisers out there, you were the one who mentioned GFI, which is why I wanted to make sure that I made this video on it. So I know you're on board. What about the rest of you? Are you in GFI? What do you think of it? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you like other RWA projects ahead of Goldfinch? To me, it's the number one on my list right now. And again, if there's other tokens that you want me to talk about, other projects, I'm not promising that I will, but it's more likely that I will if in the comments you talk to me about them, because I am always reading your comments. All right, if you like this video, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and make sure that notification bell is on. And of course, follow us over on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. All right, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Milton saying over and out.